Hi, welcome to my new video where I'm going to talk about the Pokemon that's most of the time the best in restricted formats. This is Frostlass, and the cup that we're going to look at is the Sorcerer's Cup. This is from a practice tournament hosted by Toke Tactical. I'll put the link to his Discord and YouTube in the description, in case you want to play these tournaments as well, right? The more, the merrier. So what does the meta look like? This kind of defines the meta. We had 41 participants, and as you can see here, 38 people used Frostlass. So everyone knew Frostlass is probably the best Pokemon in this league, right? Beedrill is also a very common pick, and Munchlax, now that it has Tackle, it has so many more wins in this cup. However, Tackle does mean it loses very hard to Frostlass, so kind of has its ups and downs, right? And the new double, very meta as well. Let's take a look at the team that I used. I used Double Fairy to check Frostlass. These are like the best Frostlass answers. Along with Dark Poisons, but only if they have Bite. If you have Poison Jab, you win, or sorry, you lose certain even shield scenarios. Most of the time you win the 0 shields against Frostlass, but you lose the 1s or the 2s. With Skuntank, Grimer, I think the other one was Alolan Muk. My last one is Toxicroak, simply to counter the Dark Poisons. So the flaw in my line, however, is that I'm very weak to Beedrill. I only have one answer really, and my Biters will be neutral to it. If I were to run Bite, of course. If I run Poison Jab, I'm not really good against it. So yeah, let's take a look at the first teams here against Axer, very good player. Has quite some similarities in his line, and he runs Bibarel. Bibarel is somewhat of a Frostlass answer, but also not, because a Frostlass with energy advantage can win this matchup in even shields against Bibarel. So kind of iffy there. Shadow Hypno is actually very strong. It can beat basically anything in 2 shields because the Shadow Confusion adds up so much. Even Frostlass you win in 2 shields. But yeah, if you get locked on a Dark Poison, it's very painful. So yeah, let's take a look at these battles against Axer. We'll have one battle from every set of 3 battles. Alright. Toxicroak into Azumarill. This is kind of neutral for me. Ever since Azumarill became XL, you have to throw 2 charge moves. I believe you have to throw 2 sludge moves. I'm not too sure, but this is a matchup I haven't played in a long time. It has become slightly worse for Toxicroak. On the other hand, you can take charge moves from Azumarill a bit better from an XL one. I wanted to bait out his Dark Poison here. That's basically his only Alolan Ninetales answer. And at this point, if he has a Frostlass in the back, I'm in a very good spot, because Frostlass does not do well against Charm Alolan Ninetales with shields. He doesn't have Sludge Pump, it seems. Sorry, Sludge Pump. Probably Flamethrower for the Mirror, for other Skuntank or Alolan Grimer. And maybe I shouldn't do this to review my second move, but that does make it easier to farm down. On the other hand, I was a little bit indecisive here what to do. I guess at this point I was thinking, and I was like, you know, a double shielded Charmer is always the win. Is always a win. If there's no answer to it on the opposing side, that's always the way. Let's see what they come in with. Do they come in with Azumarill again? I will outpace to this Sludge Bomb that will do really good damage, so that's nice. It might be like a Bibarel in the back if they decide to shield here, which they do. So they might be very weak to this Toxicroak, and Toxicroak just keeps punching, and I tried to catch. I'm not sure if I caught, but you know, he throws a move, so I have that going for me. And reveals his second move. I did figure he didn't bait me. If it was Hydro, it was gonna hurt a lot. And he then tries to... He sacrificed Toxicroak. Obviously, I'm not gonna throw Weather Ball into Azumarill. This Psyshock will kill 1,000 frogs. Right, it's double super effective, and now I can basically just charm down. I know this won't KO, so I'm very good here. Basically fell a bit behind in this matchup once I caught the Ice Beam on my own Azumarill there. So, yeah. Player of coming in, I shield that, and the charm that went through takes him out. Actually, no Frostless game here. I don't think I used Frostless at all in this battle. Interesting. But probably because of the Bibarel that he probably wanted to counter. I think I lost the first game by 1 HP to his Shadow Hypno as well. So yeah. Let's take a look at the second set here against my good friend Gambino Dragon. He runs Shadow Beedrill, which he loves, and I know he wants to try out Tackle Munchlax. Piece of advice, do not run it in this meta. I think Tackle Munchlax is a huge upgrade over Lick in neutral scenarios, but not when there's a Frostless on the field. Let's take a look in this battle here. Let's say. Alright, if he has Lick, this is a decent matchup, but I think he likes to run Tackles, which he does, and then he swaps in the Beedrill. Now, Beedrill is not even that bad here, to be honest. Beedrill can actually win this if it double baits. Let's see, the Avalanche obviously will freeze this bee. It will kill it in basically one move with those Power Snows. Probably, I should have probably locked in my move there to guarantee a second shield. Because now I don't get that, and shields down is worse for my backline because a Bulldoze is not appreciated on poison types. So yeah, gonna farm up a little bit more. I'm at 2 Avalanches now. If he wants to shield, so it. Let's see. I may have run Bite on one of my Pokemons here. Let's see what he has in the back. It is the Charm Alolan Ninetales. I time my Shadow Ball here. And I probably want to keep this Frostless just a little bit because I might be able to get to an Avalanche on that Munchlax later. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna bring in my Biter. Maybe he looks at the typing and quickly swaps out, which he does because biting down on Alolan Ninetales is pretty difficult, right? It's resist. My Skuntank does have Poison Jab. I have no reason why I really put Bite on Grimmel and Skunk. Skunk does have higher, Shadow Skunk does have higher attack, right? So maybe the fast move pressure is better on that, but I do like the flexibility more on Skunk. So I'm going to swap in my Frost to pressure that last energy from him, and at this point he should not be able to get to a Bulldoze anymore. Boom, Body Slam, that's fine. And now I can jab this down. I mean, Poison Jab still is a really good move that has pretty high fast move pressure, so it's still fine. I'm not going to throw a move. I'm not going to review my second move here, right? I don't want to review whether I have Flamethrower or Sludge Bomb. Maybe I run both of them and I don't review Crunch. Who knows? So yeah, good game to Gambino Dragon. There was a 3-0 against him. My next matchup against Elim, a very good player from Go Stadium. Is he at a Go Stadium? Yeah, it's called a Stadium Elite, actually. Stadium Elite. He runs Noctowl. Noctowl's pretty interesting. It has pretty good coverage in Skytech Shadow Ball. You can actually hit Frostless back. But again, Avalanche is something you don't want to take. And because of its bulk, it has a lot of good neutral matchups. Other than that, also the double fairy from Elim, so he covers that Frostless pretty well of mine. Let's see. I know him pretty well, so I know he's going to bring Frostless. I'm definitely considering a Biter, but against double fairy is kind of iffy. I'm leading Toxicroak into his Skuntank. Really good lead, and I'm double strong against his Frostless safe swap if he has that. And he does. So I bring in my Charm Alolan Ninetales. This is definitely a very secure matchup. Azumarill still struggles a little bit, especially without Hydro to one-shot it. So I prefer to bring this in. I know I have to shield one because he will get to 2 otherwise. If I no shield that, he can throw an Avalanche here, so I kind of have to throw that move there. This is where the ball will take it out. Frost is not that bulky, and then he can farm me all the way down with Skuntank. I know in game 1 I swapped my own Skuntank into his, and he threw Crunch into me. So I'm kind of expecting Sludge Mob on it, but also not. I think Flamethrower is the way when you have the mirror. He also survives 1 HP. That's insane. So I'm very inclined to go in Azumarill here and catch that Flamethrower if it is one. But if it's not, the Sludge Bomb will do so much, right? So I'm just going to play it safe. I'm guessing he has a decent answer against Toxicroak in the back anyway, maybe a Noctowl. But it is his own, and I blind swap. I review my third Pokemon immediately without even giving Toxicroak a chance, because this is actually looking very bad now. He throws his charge move immediately. Very smart, because I'm 1 turn behind on my... I'm 1 turn behind, right, because of the swap. And that means I cannot either CMP or get my extra bubble through, right? So I'm also a bubble behind, I'm a shield behind, I'm everything behind here. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. This is going to be tough. He needs to manage his energy well, though. So if he does not, I might still be able to get to a charge move on my Toxicroak later. And my Azumarill, my fat rank 2 Azumarill, will take this move still pretty comfortably. The next one will KO it, though. So that's not comfortable. He can even no-shield this. I'm going to try to not catch, I guess. I don't know what to expect there from me. Maybe I should have no-shielded this, because Toxicroak was pretty healthy there. It wasn't going to get farmed down, I think. But Elim also farmed up quite some energy here, so that's difficult too. This is basically over, because my player was not going to take him out. I need to get to a move with my Toxicroak, but I think he's just going to farm very close to 2 moves, and it will be game over. Right, he throws the Ice Beam here probably, and if you're at 100 energy with Azumarill, the second Ice Beam is only 1 bubble away. If he's 2 away, then he needs to... oh, he does, and I'm 1 counter off that Mud Bomb. Very close game, very well played by Elim there. So yeah, that Ice Beam will take Toxicroak out. It's a pretty fragile fighter, and he won. He won this set 2-1 against me, so I lost to him. My next matchup against Usmodel. You may have seen the YouTube video that featured his team as well. He's a level 39 trainer. Not a lot of catches, but he's very good at PvP. He is very prepared for the Frostless meta, because Alolan, Eradicate, and Haunter are probably some of the best Frostless answers, to be honest. Let's take a look at these games. The tough thing here is I need Frostless to cover that Beedrill, right? Because I'm 5 times weak to it. But he has such hard answers to it that I kind of don't want to. The good thing is, he doesn't run a Fairy, so I can run Crunch on my Frostless. I did learn, though, in this tournament that Crunch is not favorable if they come in at full HP, because a Crunch does not one-shot while a Shadow Ball does. Gonna go straight for it. It's favorable in the lead, so that helps to see the Frostless here, and yeah, it's still a bit tricky though. He decides to no shield and keep the shields for something in the back. And I decide to preserve my Frostless because I need to bait out either Toxicroak or Beedrill, or both. He might run both, because they're both pretty good against me. And it is Toxicroak indeed. Even if I had Flamethrower here, I would not get there, which is very unfortunate. He even throws that move. I didn't expect it, to be honest. Especially because a Crunch doesn't KO Toxicroak, but that's okay. He has 1 counter of energy here, and I have quite some energy on my Frostless. So I'm going to throw this Avalanche. I will take it out. I throw it right before his Mud Bomb. I do win CMP. I don't win CMP. Sorry, I don't win CMP. And he shields that, which makes this very scary, because I need to get rid of this Toxicroak. My Grimer in the back is a biter, right? So this is very iffy. Gonna throw another Avalanche here. Probably still need to preserve my Frostless. Avalanche is shielded again. He definitely has Beedrill on the back, and I failed the catch here, but he does throw anyway, so that's kind of good, I guess. My bomb does super effective damage on me, and in comes that Beedrill. I might be able to get to that Crunch if he doesn't count my bites very well, but he throws right before it. Very well counted. He's a little bit off another X-Scissor. Actually, he throws the Drill on. That gives me a little bit more chance, I guess. And oh boy. I might get counted down though, because even single resisted counters still add up quite much here. Let's see. We lag a little bit. We lag here. Oh boy, that may have made a difference. Let's see if it made a difference. If it made the difference of 1 Power Snow there, I would have come out with a move and win that game. But I guess it is what it is. We'll never know. I didn't look back at it. I lost this set 0-3, so did it matter winning, maybe winning 1 game? No, it didn't really matter. I lost the set regardless. My next matchup is against Wookie, who's running Malamar and Galarian Weezing. And then was Celio. Celio is kind of interesting. I don't like it that much, basically because its coverage is just not great. You don't need Body Slam a lot here. So yeah, let's take a look. I think Frostless is the best ice attacker by far in this meta, right? I don't think Celio even counters Frostless like that. I lead my Azumarill into Alolan Marowak, Alolan Muck here. And one of the best things about this is probably my favorite strategy in this meta. Leading strong against Frostless and then say swapping your own to get energy advantage. It sometimes really is unbeatable. They let that go. I know I win this matchup no matter what they do. Whether they run Jab, whether they Acid Spray, whether they run Snarl, whether they run Gunk Shot. Doesn't matter. You lose this matchup. And I know that they don't get to 2 Dark Pulses here. So this is an Acid Spray. Yep. Means that the next Pokemon will get quite some farm. Probably. Let's take a look. In the back is that Alolan... the Galarian, Weezing, all these freaking regionals. Which is a bulky Pokemon, but has no fast move pressure really, right? Fairy Wind is a Mudshot clone, so it doesn't do much damage, even when I'm double debuffed here. He does shield that move. And yeah, I guess I'll let this go. Let's see what he got. This thing like only has expensive charge moves. The only cheap one is Sludge, and it's really weak. So let's see what we do here. Even if he has Sludge Bomb, I can take that on my Azumarill. That's fine. I definitely don't want to eat a Shadow, an Overheat on my Shadow Skunk, right? He hits that Play Rough. Does he get to another one here? He's trying to, but gets bubbled down barely. And in the back is that Golbat. So Golbat is an absolute staple in this meta. You have Shadow Ball to hit Frostless back as well. You do very well against the Dark Poisons when shields are up. You do well against Azumarill and Alolan Ninetales, but not against either of them with a lot of energy. Because the Ice Charge moves hit pretty hard here, right? This is like the prime counter to Beedrill and Toxicroak. So I think Golbat is a very solid pick here. Unfortunately, my opponent could not align it very well, so that's game. You can also opt for Return Golbat to surprise Dark Poisons here. He didn't have any White Clouds there, so I didn't consider him having Return because he couldn't have it. DJ Seal is running an Alolan Raichu, which I hadn't seen yet before, but it seemed pretty fun in this meta. There's not a lot or anything that resists electric, so Wild Charge hits hard on basically anything. Let's see how that goes. It's a very attack-weighted Pokemon, so it wins a lot of CMP too. But it might also get farmed down a lot, so that's not very optimal, and probably dies to a lot of charge moves very easily. Let's see. We got my Alolan Ninetales into their Skuntank. I'm doing the same strategy here. Lead strong against Frost and say swap my own. Funny thing, I believe in the 3rd game, I'm not sure if it was this opponent or the previous one. I believe it was this opponent. In the 3rd game, they actually blind swapped their Frostless into my Frostless say swap, knowing my strategy. That was pretty cool to see. Like that they read my strategy like that. They crunch and then go into Alolan Raichu. This is kind of tricky. He does need to debuff himself if he wants to KO me right now. And then my charms will do so much damage. Alright, in comes a charge move. I don't think Thunder Punch will kill. I might be able to get to another Avalanche here. That would be awesome. But it does so much damage. Thunder Punch is a pretty weak move, but Alolan Raichu is so offensive weighted. Now, what was the lead again? It was Skuntank, right? Which isn't really a threat anymore for my Alolan Ninetales. But I still decide to bring it in here. I'm not sure about my decision here, actually. Because, well, maybe I'm expecting Frostless. Is it Frost? Let's see what comes in here. I'm debating on swapping immediately. He comes in with his own Skunk, which is a huge misplay. Because if he came in Frostless there to farm me down, which you kind of always want to do it with Frostless. If he did that, he wins this in the 1 shields. But now I'm 2 poison jabs ahead, and I win this matchup, the Skuntank versus the Frostless. Because this does like, I would say 70%. 70% or so. It does a lot to Shadow Skuntank. And I love my Skuntank, so I'm not going to let that hit me. But yeah, huge misplay. Always go for the Frostless sweep. That is just the play. That's the play. That's this meta. There is no other option, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully that was a helpful video for you if you're playing factions, or if you want to play this meta in another format. It's been a pretty old meta, but they brought it back now in factions. I think it's a great one, to be honest, if you're good with Frostlass. So yeah, hope you liked the video, and see you in the next one. Have a good one.